I got a job and I'm eating lunch and I'm eating a PB&J. The jelly I made out of strawberries that I picked over the summer. Fit check. I've got my Allbirds. I got them from Christmas, and I have my pants. There's a little stain on it because I ate a protein bar and spilled it on myself and let it melt for too long. And I got my pants from Uniqlo. This is a shirt that's a hand-me-down. And I have a sweater here that I've been wearing since middle school. I usually wear it in the office because it's so cold in there, but outside it's like 90 degrees. So if I look at this video back and I'm sweating and I look like I'm melting ice cream, whatever, dude, okay? So for lunch, again, PB&J. I got a yogurt. Now that I have a real corporate job, I've been kind of like in a place that's like pretty weird. Don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful to have this job. It's just really weird to just be in this new stage of life. For right now, I'm 21 years old. I'm turning 22 soon. And most of my life has been dictated by accomplishments by school. And everything was so mapped out. It's weird to now approach life without those clear set milestones or accomplishments that operate in a very predictable timeline. But now it's like I don't want to dictate my life's accomplishments based on whatever I fulfill in my career. Now that I've graduated and I'm really done with school and I've reflected on my experience as a student, I don't think it was healthy for me to dictate my accomplishments purely on what I accomplished within the school setting. So it's just a very strange transition in time for me. It's very nebulous. And I think it's very nebulous for a lot of people who are in their early 20s trying to navigate this life when so many of us are in such different stages of life. I think I've been very lost, even though, again, I am so, okay, I can't talk about the nebulous that is navigating your early 20s without acknowledging the amount of privilege I have. From an early age, I knew I was going to college. Both of my parents have college degrees, so that definitely helped my journey as a college student, especially when I think about what's going on in Palestine. I'm living in a place where I don't have to worry about my safety or the safety of my loved ones. I can really focus my attention to career or whatever I want. So I'm just really blessed to be in the position that I am in. And I feel a little guilty for even complaining about how like unfocused I am when I was granted so many privileges that some people can never even dream of. But I can't deny the fact that I'm feeling a little bit out there. Even though I did get all of these privileges and I'm so grateful for them and I can acknowledge them, I also don't think it would be fair to myself to not also acknowledge the hard work that I put in. I worked really hard to get this job, and I worked really hard in school. That was a really difficult degree, oh my gosh, and I made it to the end. And I'm so blessed to be able to eat this PB&J underneath this beautiful tree. Now that I have this career and I have like a proper fixated income, I mean, it's just so surreal. I remember when I first got the offer letter for this corporate job and I signed it, I was like, I mean, all the opportunities that I would get with the income that I'm receiving, it feels so surreal. When I think back at my first job, when I was a barista at Dunkin' Donuts, you know, I was getting paid $7.25 an hour with an additional like 30 cents every day for plus tip, you know. When I actually budgeted out, we need to deduct taxes from my income. And also I have to pay off all my student loans, which how is it even legal? I mean, I was 17 when I got my first loan. I didn't even have my first drink yet. Like, I didn't even take my first shot, and I'm already thousands of dollars in student loans. Like, how is that? That feels like a scam. Is that legal? Should that be illegal? And I thought that, like, as soon as I got to this career point, like, this will be the pinnacle of my life. I will have ultimate freedom. And in some ways, I do have ultimate freedom. But in a lot of ways, I've never felt more constricted in my life. When I went into college, a big marker for if I was successful or not was if I left with a degree and got a job afterward. For high school, a big marker of whether it was successful or not was if I left with my diploma and got into a good college. With the grace of God and also from a lot of hard work on my end, I was able to do both things. But what is the dictation of success now that I'm in a career? That I leave with a good retirement? Because like retirement is like so far in the future. I don't know how I'm approaching life now because I don't have this clear time marker of when can I call myself successful in a career, because there really is no end until hopefully 40, 50 years from now, if I live that long, when I retire. So I decided to do this thing, and I made a list called 23 things that I want to do before I turn 23. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I realized I spent the last 8 years of my life slaving away at a degree that was, oh my gosh, so hard. I'm over feeling like when I think about the cost of living, rent, my loans, I'm overthinking about that money and thinking that my life is over because it's not. This is just something, a part of life that we have to accept. That debt is a thing. It's like the world is 10 times more expensive than it used to be. And gas is like $3.50 now a gallon if you're lucky. Even though I've experienced this overwhelming like pressure and fear about finances, that doesn't mean that I can't still live. So I have a list of 23 things that I want to do before I turn 23. And if I get them all done, great. If I don't, honestly, fine. My goal is to document all of them so that when I do turn 23, I could like look back on them and see like, oh, no, that's right, I did this thing. I have things on the list like run a 5K and dye my hair. I've always wanted to do that. And pierce my ears. And I've always wanted to pierce my ears and get one of those earrings from Claire's, like the ones that are shaped like chocolate cake, you know, and wear them to office, because I could do that now because I'm an adult. So I'm just gonna do them. Like, I'm still gonna live life. You know, I worked hard in college to enjoy life after it. And even though the loans that I'm looking at are just so, I mean, mammoth, life doesn't stop. And I don't want it to stop because I like love being alive. Gosh, dude, it's freaking great. Some of the things on the list are things that always have been in my bucket list. I've just never gotten a chance to do them. Some of them are completely random. One of them is like, go see a panda at the zoo. Don't know why I put that on there, but I'm gonna go see a panda at a zoo. Some of these things I could do with friends, but a lot of it is like things that I want to do individually on my own, just as a moment of self-reflection and to ground myself. And I'm excited to do them. You know, there are still things that excite me to no end. Like, I remember when I went to college and I took the train from my place to my siblings' place by myself. I bought the ticket by myself. I walked to the train station by myself. I navigated the train like schedule by myself. But that was something that was so foreign to me that I didn't imagine I could do when I was 16, because there was no public transportation system, or I just didn't really have that sense of independence. But those little things excite me. And just the other day, I popped my tire. I hated popping my tire. The fact that I had to navigate that by myself was like, as sucky as it was exciting to say that like I did that. I paid for the tire myself, and I paid for the change, and I made a mistake, but it was an adult mistake, and I was able to navigate myself through that. The other day, I was driving myself on the highway, singing the entire Hamilton soundtrack, every single part. I was watching it. I was Hamilton, I was Eliza, I was Peggy, I was John Lawrence, I was doing everyone at once. I was Aaron Burr, you know, I was singing every part at once. I was singing at the top of my lungs, and no one could stop me because it was my car. Those little things are so exciting, and I'm tired of dictating my success or joys of life based on like what career milestone or educational milestone I accomplished, or on like metrics like income or GPA. I'm over these numbers, dude. It's like it's getting ridiculous how much of my life is dictated by numbers. Finishing my degree was a huge accomplishment. I'm so proud of myself. But honestly, getting the degree wasn't the most joyous part. It was experiencing everyday life with my roommates and cultivating a community. Like, those are the moments that I will remember the most. This list is like my way of trying to highlight those little moments of trying something new and finding more about myself. And I hope that it is ultimately a good thing for me. I can't imagine it being a bad thing for me. Gosh, I hope it's a good thing for me. So one of the things on my list is to film and edit a YouTube video and post it online, no matter how embarrassing the video is. And you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna edit this. I'm talking to no one. Okay? There's no one around me. I'm just at a little bin. I'm in my PB&J. I'm gonna film and edit it, and then I'm gonna try to do those 23 things on the list. And then when I do turn 23, I'm gonna wash all those things, and I hopefully will be proud of myself. So here's the checking off number 1. I only have an hour lunch break and I've been yapping for 30 minutes. I'm gonna stop talking now so I can disassociate for the next 30 minutes. Bye.